Hey folks, it's Roy from the Geeks Adventures. Woohoo! Broadcasting from Studio Beta in the Clintonville section of Columbus, Ohio. And appropriate shirt because I binge watched not season 4. I mean, was it season 3A? Season 3.1? Anyway, the next season after the beginning. And hey, besides, actually, this way, get to kind of do a giant or overall retrospective review of all the episodes together. So after having Shiro mysteriously go poof at the end of season 2, wow, things got kind of crazy with the Voltron team. You know, I wondered how things were gonna go with this show. I mean, with any series, you get this ups and downs. Sometimes like ooh cool, and other times you go, what were you thinking when you wrote this? um, and also the also seeing how the series was going to go from the old school version where every week, hey, new Roll Beast, yeah, to trying to really create an epic story. And from arc to arc, I guess that's the best way to put it, really, from arc to arc, season 1 to season 2 to season 3 to season 3A, whatever you want to call it. I'm really enjoying how it's all developing. Seeing that, as this all moves forward, watching how this really is an intergalactic war. I mean, yeah, they keep talking about Universal Defender. Okay, no, it's an intergalactic thing. But nonetheless, dang. This is the kind of thing Star Trek, Babylon 5, Battlestar Galactica. I mean, this is the kind of stuff the big story arcs have been trying to do. And it's been growing well. It's fun to see this entire universe they've created grow with more alien species. Seeing a legit rebellion. It's not just 5 guys in lines and some other guys with a couple pop guns and all that kind of junk. No, a real giant alliance with lots of craziness going on. So that's been a lot of fun to watch, to see, the story really follow this thread and build on the fact that, this really is going to be a last chance to depose the Gowron Empire. Also seeing Lotor brought in. Dude's kind of crazy. Wow. I mean, it's funny to watch, the two differing ways. Zarkon is big gruff. We're going to flatten everybody. Lotor's a little sneakier. It's funny when you see him first introduced in the one episode, and he's fighting in the giant gladiatorial stadium, and he's trying to sound conciliatory, like, look, we want you guys to willingly be part of the Empire, and he sounds all cool and stuff until he goes, and by the way, if you don't willingly join us, I'm gonna kill you. I'll feel possibly bad, but yeah, no, you're. So it's like, wow, you sound really nice, but you're crazy like your dad. Damn. So that whole thing is wonderful to watch. By the time you get to the end of season 4, season 3.1, season beta, 3 beta, whatever you want to call it, you're coming to this huge crossroads in this war. And one of the problems you run into in the genre in general is that, you can't do this for real, where these things take forever. Endor. There is no one. As fun as in movies, you have the Battle of Endor. You got the Battle of Pelennor Fields. You got this giant epic thing that settles everything. Or actually, no, it's the Battle of Blackgate. Sorry, my bad. But you get the idea. It doesn't really work that way. In Voltron, they're cheating a little bit, but it's nice to see real different fronts. A huge battle with lots of different things that all have to come together over huge expanses of space. Gives it, it kind of adds on, like I said, to that depth of what this story is. It's just a wonderful thing to watch. The one thing I'm kind of a little bit bummed about, I do miss the occasional monster of the week. I'm missing the giant robot kick the crap out of another giant monster. Just saying. Oh, sad. Oh, it's just not the same. I realize it doesn't quite feed the whole giant storyline. I get that, and but just saying, a couple. Just saying, just a little request. Oh, one other thing. One of the coolest things that happens at the end, the last episode of season 3, or season 3A, whatever you want to call it. You get an origin story. You find out where they do an amazing job in half an hour of basically explaining, I don't know, 10,000 years or however long it is, of where Voltron came from. The fact that Allura's father and Zarkon were buddies. 5 of them, it was a wonderful story. You see how Zarkon went from being the paladin of a black lion to, and it was one of those things where the best villains, you tend to you feel for them. Whether it is Anakin. Okay, Anakin may not be the best example. You get the idea, though. Adds a little depth, adds a little more meaning to what they do, their motivations and everything. And seeing what happens when the Allura's father discovers the quintessence and creates the 5 lions and everything. All these dominoes kind of fall the wrong way, and things go really badly from there. Funny how these things work out that way. But anyway, there you go. So yeah, another wonderful story arc from the folks at DreamWorks Animation. I remember reading, was it last year or the year before? I forget if it was on IO9, but one of the websites were talking about how the way things are looking looks like it's going to be about a 5-season story arc, and the way things are developing, it's going to be pretty close. So we'll see how all this wraps up. But it looks like, as long the way it's going right now, it looks like this is going to be awesome. Can't wait for next season. Yay! Cool. So anyway, there you go. Hey, y'all have a good weekend. May the odds forever be in your favor. May the force be with you. And as always, hey, let's be good to each other, all right, folks? Peace, peeps. Later. Bye.